Hi everybody, Mr. Politics here, and welcome to another video. Junior doctors are going to go on strike. Oh, I forgot. We shouldn't call them junior doctors anymore, should we? They should be called resident doctors. That's the new politically correct term to use now. We can't call them junior doctors anymore. Well, of course, the resident doctors, they want a pay rise. And of course, they had one last year, didn't they? Starmer gave them one. But of course, they want their pay, the same amount that they got in, I think, 2008. And of course now they're going to go on strike. I'm calling a strike at the end of this month, and it according to the reports, it could go on for 6 months and into next year, in the next January. It'll be interesting to see, won't it, how Starmer handles this. He'll probably give in to their demands like he did the last time, and he'll give them what they want. He'll give in to their demands and he'll give them what they want. Because, well, let's put it this way, Starmer is a soft touch, isn't he? He's a soft touch. I mean, going back to the doctors, I wonder how the patients are going to feel when they're in hospital and they need treatment and the doctors look after them. How are they going to feel when they have to have their appointments cancelled or their operations cancelled? Because we all know what happened last year, didn't we? When they went on strike, when the Tories was in government, the strikes dragged on for months and months and months, didn't they? Until Labour was elected and Starmer gave them a rise. Will he do the same this time? Will he give in to their demands? It'll be interesting to see, because you know what a pushover Starmer is. I mean, you've only got to look at last week's vote on welfare reforms. He had to give in to the backbenchers' demands. So don't be surprised if Starmer gives in to the demands of the, well, I call them junior doctors, but now we have to call them resident doctors. It's a new name. They don't like being called junior doctors, do they? But already the government are saying that they will not give in to their demands, their pay rise they want. The money's not there. I mean, the doctors, they get a good wage, don't they? For being doctors in hospitals, they get paid extra for working on weekends and bank holidays. But of course, it's not good enough for them. And you know how militant these doctors are. I'm a militant bunch who will strike over anything. I mean, if Starmer gives in to their demands and says they can have a rise, I mean, who's going to be next to go out on strike? The train drivers again? I wouldn't be surprised if the train drivers are not next, don't come out on strike again like they did last year. And we'll be back to square one again. The country will be held to ransom by militant unions. But like I've said, has Starmer got the guts to say no? Or will he give in to their demands, like I've said? Knowing Starmer, he'll probably give in to their demands. He'll probably do it in secret. He'll probably do it in secret, where the public won't know. Nobody will know until It's till we find out that they've had a rise. Of course, the government have said they will not give them a rise. But it'll be interesting to see what happens, because you know what, we've had Labour governments in the past. They've been controlled by the unions, haven't they? I mean, you've only got to look at the 70s, what it was like back then, when everybody was on strike back then. That decade, all through the 70s, there was some strike going on over, they wanted a rise. But yes, it looks like the resident doctors are going to go on strike. They've called a strike for the end of this month, and no doubt there'll be another strike next month and into September, and then up till Christmas, and then into next year. I don't know what Starmer will do, whether he can hold his ground against them, but other Labour Prime Ministers in the past have given in to their unions' demands, and they've said they can have a pay rise. So don't be surprised if Starmer doesn't buckle under the pressure. Because you know what a flip-flopper Starmer is. He says one thing, and then the next day he says something else. And he keeps changing his mind, doesn't he? He really needs to show that these resident doctors, that they can't have a pay rise. I mean, Wes Streeting has said that, the Health Secretary has said that they can't have one. So, the money's not there. Where's the money going to come from? If they do give it a pay rise, where's the money going to come from? Well, anyway, that's the end of this video. Mr. Politics here signing off. And remember, don't believe the lies.